Good evening again. Established in 2000, the Science National Honor Society is dedicated to creating a new cadre of scientific young people who will help run tomorrow's high-tech world. From celebrating these students to supporting their scientific endeavors each year and for many years to come, the Science National Honor Society believes in empowering and supporting our students as they continue their scientific journey. We invite you to join us in celebrating these students and supporting the purposes of the Science National Honor Society. So, Phil.
Good evening, everyone. It is with great honor that I stand at this podium tonight, welcoming parents, faculty, and students to recognize the accomplishments of a group of outstanding science students who have put forth a tremendous effort and shown great aptitude in the scientific field. Before welcoming our newest inductees, I would like to take a moment to recognize our returning students who are a part of the first ever Bullis chapter of SNHS. We have myself, Phil Billicourse, Henry Maravilla, Director of Outreach, Reagan Smith, Richard Lee, Reese McHugh, Sebastian Makaya, Anna Rose Robinson, and Keita Sineshaw. Round of applause for these returning members, please. The pursuit of excellence in STEM is certainly not an easy one, but tonight we recognize these students who have committed themselves to doing so. Before remarks from our head of school, from our head of upper, apologies, from our head of upper school, Mr. Policino, I would like to thank a few important people that have made this all possible. Head of school, Mr. Christian Sullivan. Head of upper school, Mr. Robert Policino, Miss Harriet Poland, and Miss Rachel Stanoyevich. Welcome by Mr. Robert Policino.
Thank you, Phil. Good evening, and welcome to the induction of our Science National Honor Society. It is a great honor for me to be able to do this today, as I know that my passion for science, and specifically biology, started in my 9th grade biology classroom. And it was something that I pursued through high school and into college, and I recognize the benefits that all of our teachers here at Bullis provide our students, the opportunities they give them, and it's great for me to see our students take advantage of those opportunities. The students we're inducting today have spent countless hours in our science classrooms. They've put in the time, the effort, and the energy to be prepared and inducted this evening, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Policino, for welcoming these young scholars in their quest for scientific excellence during and beyond their Bullis years. The Science National Honor Society was organized with the following objectives: encourage and recognize science and intellectual thought, advance students' knowledge of classical and modern sciences, advance students, communicate with the scientific community, encourage students to participate in community service, and in turn, encourage a dedication to the pursuit of scientific knowledge that benefits all humanity. The motto inscribed on the Science National Honor Society shield, which translates, "Fortunate is one who understands the causes of things." It is indeed fortunate to have students here tonight like these before me who understand the causes of things with other students and community members. I will now welcome Ms. S.
So these were our purposes. This was our motto. And now we're going to recognize the Science Faculty Council. First, we have Miss Rachel DeLauder, who is our new chem specialist. She teaches on-level chemistry, honors chemistry, and AP chemistry. Next, we have our fabulous department chair and astronomy teacher and on-level physics and AP Physics C teacher, Mr. Paul Kojal. Next, we have our resident biology teacher, who teaches on-level biology, honors biology, AP biology, and a plethora of other electives in the science department. A wonderful woman, we have Laura Nutter. And finally, we have myself, Miss Rachel Stanoyevich, the faculty advisor. I teach on-level physics and AP Physics 1 here at Bullis.
Thank you, Ms. S. Before our induction and recognition ceremony, we will hear from our faculty speaker. Hailing from across the Potomac in Arlington, Virginia, Ms. Laura Nutter is now in her 6th year at Bullis, earning a Bachelor's of Science in Biology from Duke University and a Master's in Education from Harvard University. Ms. Nutter has taught a breadth of biology courses at Bullis, such as AP, Honors, and Marine Biology. Ms. Nutter's impact, however, is not limited to the classroom. Ms. Nutter is also a STEM capstone mentor, club advisor for the Women in STEM organization here at Bullis, and the former coach of the rock climbing team. She's played an active role in expanding the food science course at Bullis and having designed and developed and taught the course over the course of the past 4 years. She's also expanded our marine biology course, including hands-on research using the live aquatic tanks that we have in our lab. Ms. Nutter is an exceptional educator, mentor, and member of the Bullis community, which is why we are honored to welcome her as our Science National Honor Society faculty speaker tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Laura Nutter.
Thank you. Congratulations to all the inductees. I commend you on your achievement and your commitment to the sciences. One of my favorite aspects of being a teacher is that I get to work with you at the start of your science journeys. Like many of you, my interest in science started at a young age. But it wasn't until high school that I considered pursuing a science degree in college. I knew that I loved science, but I didn't know what a career in science looked like. No one in my family was a scientist. My freshman year in college was overwhelming. I felt like all my peers in my Chemistry 101 class knew exactly what they wanted to do with their science degree. I did not. My academic advisor recommended that I look for a job working in a research lab. This would not only earn me some cash, but it would also give me great hands-on experience to further explore my interests. So this leads me to my first piece of advice. Be open to any chance you have to do science. After being rejected for a job caring for a room full of rodents, I'm not too bummed about that, I landed a job in the greenhouses helping with plant genetics experiments. I had no experience with plants, no in-depth knowledge of genetics, and no previous experience in a lab. But they were going to pay me $11 an hour to cross-pollinate a population of yellow monkey flowers and then extract their DNA, so I said yes. And this turned out to be a fantastic decision as it ultimately led to a job after I graduated and lifelong friendships. Now, obviously, I'm no longer working in a lab. So for my second piece of advice, when you are open to any opportunities to do science, you will find that you can do lots of things with a science degree. Many students think that the only two options in the sciences are to be a college professor or a medical doctor. And both of those are great careers. But science teaches you skills like data analysis and analytical thinking that are valuable across many careers. So with my science degree, I decided I wanted to teach. My husband, who has a degree in physics, is a science journalist. I have a friend who got a PhD in cell biology, and now she works for a drug company developing cancer therapies. Another friend of mine got a science degree and then went to law school and now works at the FDA. So if you are open to any opportunity to do science, you will find that it can lead you down career paths that you might not have known about. So congratulations again on your induction into the National Science Honor Society. This is just the beginning of your journey in science, and I cannot wait to see where it will take you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Nutter. Thank you, Ms. Nutter. Those inspiring words to our inductees as they continue to grow as scientists, scholars, and humanitarians will certainly go a long way. That being said, we will now induct these new members. Ryan Bigelow. Nicholas Brazier. Kirk Clay. Alexa Gerald, in absentia. Alexa Goldberg. Sienna Greenleaf. Ryan Harrison. Grace Heinzelman. Ellie Herr. Marzan Karim. Hannah Lowe. Victoria Marshall, in absentia. Donovan Mooney. Kiana Mohammedian. Emily Rubenstein. Akshara Santosh Kumar. Luke Schroeder. Sage Sharma. Quinn Stroud. Chase Sunter. Amaya Turner. Okay. John Wu. John Yan. Charlie Young. Eric Zhang. Tom Zhou. Julia Zhu. Maeve Zimmer. Ronan Zwa. Congratulations, SNHS scholars.
And now our head of school, Mr. Christian Sullivan, will give some congratulatory remarks.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me if I speak from here? Is that okay? Good evening and welcome. Students, inductees, congratulations. 29 inductees into the Science National Honours Society. We're really proud of you and thank you for your commitment to science. And thank you to your teachers. Not only the fabulous teachers that we heard about a few minutes ago here in the upper school, but also your teachers from yesteryear, from the middle school, from the lower school, whatever school you were at before here at Bullis. Hopefully they induced in you a sense of wonder, a sense of curiosity that's going to last with you a lifetime. And I have to tell you that science and science expertise is more important now, I believe, than ever before. Fake news, alternative facts, the general disparagement of expertise is more and more common in society. And I believe it can lead to the handicapping of future human development. And you all have the potential to help that not happen. And that's really important. So I urge you I ask you to really commit to your thorough scientific education and in general a love of expertise. As you go forward, I ask you to, both in academia and in the public realm, advocate for expertise and for science education. It is really, really important that you do that. Of course, as I advocate for science and expertise, that's not to say that you shouldn't question. Actually, to the contrary, I really do want you to question. I want you to be questioned, and well-intentioned question. I want you to your questioning of others to be well-intentioned, whether that is through peer review or general authentication of the work. You need to question and be questioned, and get ready for that as you move forward. So again, congratulations, well done. We're very proud of the 29 of you. Thanks again to the teachers, and let me say, this is just an encouraging moment along your path of a rigorous science education. And just as we heard tonight, I can't wait to see where you go. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Sullivan, for your uplifting words. As we close up for the night, there are two individuals that I would like to take the time to recognize for their scientific endeavor and commitment to the Science National Honor Society. That is going to be the induction of our two co-presidents, Mr. Phil Delacoris and Henry Maravilla. Both of them have prepared words for you to hear tonight. Phil.
Thank you, Ms. S. How's everybody doing? Good evening. I'm going to start off with a little bit of Latin. Cogito ergo sum. For those of you who don't speak Latin, it was René Descartes who spoke these words: "I think, therefore I am." In three short Latin words, Descartes captured the essence of human existence. When surrounded by uncertainty and doubt, there is resolve and reassurance in our human thought. The ultimate empowerer, human thought, is how we stand face to face with the onerous scale of our universe. Human thought, in particular curiosity, is the greatest catalyst to scientific discovery. The scientific advancements of mankind are the result of centuries of complex, inquisitive human thought, often prompted not by times of immense struggle, but rather a genuine curiosity. Imaginary numbers existed long before their use and applications in electrical engineering. Non-Euclidean geometry was developed centuries before we realized it could be used to parse time and space relativity and help us understand the nature of our universe. There are other times, however, where immense struggles have indeed driven scientific discovery. In the time of a pandemic like COVID-19, I feel that the story of Dr. Maurice Hilleman is an inspiring example of when struggle drives innovation. In 1963, Dr. Hilleman's 5-year-old daughter suddenly fell ill. She was exhibiting signs of an extreme case of mumps. After many days, he grew restless. In the middle of the night, he took a swab from the back of her throat and then drove to Merck Labs, where he worked. There, he refrigerated the sample and immediately got to work. He tried to weaken the virus until it could serve as a mumps vaccine, which was eventually approved by the FDA in 1967. Dr. Hilleman was faced with the declining health of his daughter and immediately worked to create a solution. At the time, 4 years was the record for the development and commercialization of a vaccine. Before this vaccine by Dr. Hilleman, that record was 12 years. Funnily enough, this new 4-year record has now been broken by the COVID-19 vaccine, which brings me to my next point. I have found that the very core of science can be broken down into 3 main components. For all the chemists in the crowd, let's think of science as our reactant, which will be decomposed into 3 main products that we can use in other processes. As I've mentioned, there are 2 central aspects of scientific discovery. Product number 1 is human curiosity, and product number 2 is instigation due to problematic conditions. However, there's a third the third product when you decompose science, and there isn't really a word at least there's not really a word in English that encapsulates this concept, but in Greek, we use the word sanotera, which essentially is the quality of progressing to heights greater than what has already been achieved. Very concise, us Greeks. To me, above all else, scientific discovery hinges on the insatiability of human thought. We are never satisfied, and that is what keeps us alive. And it is this innate drive to surpass what has already been established that makes science special. The breaking of Dr. Hilleman's record with the COVID-19 vaccine was originally thought impossible, but then it happened. The first digital computer occupied 1,800 square feet and used about 18,000 vacuum tubes, weighing almost 50 tons. Now, we have supercomputers in our pockets at all times. Ultimately, being a scientist and pursuing science is being relentless in the pursuit of progress. It is rethinking and it is adapting. It is being courageous and willing to stare risk in its eyes and not falter. And in the case of Dr. Hilleman, science is sometimes ignoring the advice of medical professionals and creating a historic vaccine that happens to go on to save millions of lives. As scientists, it is our duty to be curious, to be bright, and to never be satisfied. Thank you.
Thank you, Phil, for that wonderful speech. Oh, and hey, look, the presentation is on this time. I'm so happy. Okay. In elementary school, while learning about photosynthesis, science to me meant putting a pea plant in a pot with dirt, exposing it to sunlight, watching that plant grow. Unless that particular plant was part of the control group, which in that case meant it would be stuck in a cabinet, deprived of sunlight, and left to die. Happy times. Anyways, plants were not my thing. However, when I entered 7th grade, I discovered an application of science that I found way more exciting than just playing with pea plants and dirt. Playing with ants and dirt. What an upgrade. I fell in love with ants, and they quickly became an obsession. When taking biology classes and learning about ecology, I researched the role pavement ants play in our urban ecosystems. In chemistry, while learning about Lewis dot diagrams, I looked into what makes up the exoskeleton of an ant, chitin, and what that looks like on a molecular level. Pretty cool. I didn't even stop at chemistry. In physics, I wondered how I could apply my love for ants to rotational motion. It was tough. But lo and behold, I found an application and I persevered. That is, if I tie a string around a carpenter ant and spin it in a circle really fast, I can calculate the ant's tangential velocity. How's that for a lab? Okay, I admit, perhaps physics doesn't have the best applications for ants, although it would be fun if it did. As I learned more about ants and grew as a science student, people began asking me scientifically rigorous, thought-provoking questions, such as, "You like ants?" I love studying the unnoticed. We as humans dismiss ants as pests and rarely give them a closer look. There are over 12,000 species of ants around the world and over 124 species in Maryland. We're not counting invasive species, each with their own unique ecological niches. I find that absolutely fascinating. Even though most people think at first glance ants are boring, and well, at second glance, and for some third, without them, I don't think I would have grown to love science, because frankly, as many of you know, science can be really hard. And I'm serious, it can be really hard. Try taking AP Physics. It can be really hard. But connecting my interest in ants to scientific concepts that I'm learning about in the classroom makes that struggle so much more fun. So do not pursue something because you think others will find it interesting. Instead, pursue what you love to learn about and apply that to everything you do. Although, if that interest involves living things, maybe not physics. Thank you.
I didn't realize we'd have so much physics slander tonight. On behalf of the Bullis School, I'd like to say one more time, congratulations to our inductees. Thank you to our returning members for meeting the qualifications this year. We're still proud of you too. And thank you so, I'm sorry, yes, they just. And thank you so much for taking the time out of your evening to come to our induction ceremony. Congratulations again.